Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Elson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's happening this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. In a message marking the Buddhist celebration of Vesakh, Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran, president of the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue, said that it is urgent for both Buddhists and Christians, on the basis of the genuine patrimony of our religious traditions, to create a climate of peace, to love, defend, and promote human life. Each spring, the Pontifical Council sends its best wishes to Buddhists around the world for Vesakh, our feast commemorating key events in the life of the Buddha. And the message for 2013 was released by the Vatican May 2nd. Cardinal Tauran said that Pope Francis, at the very beginning of his ministry, has reaffirmed the necessity of a dialogue of friendship among followers of different religions, and he reaffirmed the Catholic Church's belief that individuals have a moral obligation to love and protect life and all of creation. Vesakh is celebrated in different countries on different days in the spring. More news now from the Vatican. Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI has returned to the Vatican for the first time since his resignation from the papacy. Rome Reports takes a look at Pope Benedict's return and where he will be staying.
It's been 2 months since Benedict XVI left the Vatican by helicopter. In the last few hours of his pontificate, Pope Benedict XVI traveled to the summer residence at Castel Gandolfo. Now he's come back to the Vatican as Pope Emeritus. As the Vatican got ready for the conclave, the remodeling of Benedict XVI's new residence was underway. From now on, he will live at the Mater Ecclesiae monastery located within Vatican territory. 2 months after he headed out to Castel Gandolfo, he comes back to the Vatican in a similar fashion, arriving by helicopter. Upon his arrival, Secretary of State Cardinal Tarcisio Bertoni was awaiting for Benedict XVI, along with Angelo Sodano, who serves as a dean for the College of Cardinals. Also, there was a president of the Governorate of the Vatican City-State, Cardinal Giuseppe Bertello. As Benedict XVI made his way back to the former monastery, Pope Francis was there ready to welcome him back to the Vatican. They both went to pray in the chapel. According to the Vatican's press release, Benedict XVI will serve the Church through prayer. He will live with his personal secretary, Monsignor Georg Geinswein, who will also serve as a prefect of the papal household. 4 consecrated laywomen from the Communion and Liberation movement will also live there to help out with everyday chores. More than likely, Benedict XVI will be visited by his 88-year-old brother, Georg Ratzinger, who is his only living relative. The Mater Ecclesiae was used as a monastery for 19 years. Before that, employees of the Vatican Radio lived there, including the director. The living area is about 650 feet squared. The actual residence of Benedict XVI will be on the floor level, so he doesn't have to go up and down the stairs. The 4-story building has a small garden as well. For now, Pope Francis will continue to live in the so-called Casa Santa Marta, which is a Vatican guest house. So the first Latin American Pope and Benedict XVI will live just a few feet away from each other. Despite having a Pope and a Pope Emeritus living at the Vatican, ironically, the papal apartment to this day remains empty.
Looking out news from around the country, on May 2nd, Maryland became the 18th state and the first south of the Mason-Dixon line to abolish the death penalty. Democrat Governor Martin O'Malley signed the bill that repeals capital punishment at a ceremony in Annapolis. Bishop Stephen Blair of Stockton, California, chairman of the U.S. Bishops' Committee on Domestic Justice and Human Development, issued a statement calling the repeal a courageous step toward a culture of life. In Baltimore, Maryland's largest city, the interior and exterior lights of the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary were lit at dusk that evening and remained illuminated overnight in honor of the repeal. Archbishop William Lori of Baltimore had testified in support of the legislation to repeal the death penalty at hearings in the Maryland Senate and the House of Delegates. The Maryland repeal of the death penalty is not retroactive. 5 prisoners with death sentences are in Maryland jails. O'Malley has said he will review them on a case-by-case basis. The state's last execution was in 2005. The bill replaces capital punishment with a sentence of life imprisonment without parole. And finally in the news, according to Deidre McQuaid, spokeswoman for the USCCB's Secretariat for Pro-Life Activities, the Food and Drug Administration acted irresponsibly with its decision on April 30th to lower the age limit from 17 to 15 for purchasing an over-the-counter emergency contraceptive. McQuaid said the FDA's latest decision will make young teens vulnerable to sexually transmitted diseases and sexual manipulation. She said studies have shown that wider access to so-called emergency contraception reduce neither pregnancy nor abortion rates, but can contribute to higher rates of sexually transmitted disease, especially among young people. Plan B, One Step, now will be sold openly on pharmacy shelves, while the generic brands will still be sold under pharmacy counters and only for those 17 years of age. Those who purchase the drugs will have to show identification to prove their age. However, a ruling by a federal judge in early April said the Food and Drug Administration must make emergency contraceptives available to all ages by May 6th. The Justice Department announced May 1st that it is appealing this decision, saying the judge who issued the ruling had exceeded his authority and that his decision should be suspended while the appeal is underway. And that is all the information we have for you at this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson. I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.